Hello, and welcome back to my Fire Emblem 8 Ephraim Reverse Recruitment LTC, brought to you by Typhoon Carter. Today we have Chapter 12. Chapter 12 is a follow-up chapter to Chapter 11 where we don't get overworld preps. The first thing we gotta do is promote Kyle into Paladin. Now, with this promotion, he's going to be pretty helpful for doing the rescue chain in Chapter 14. And otherwise, he's mostly just filler mobile unit who happens to have a lot of defense. And this map is a kill boss map. Now, with this map, what you see initially changes very quickly on turn 2. And the boss of this chapter initially is Kalak, who comes in with like his tomahawk, hoplin guard, all that jazz. But we'll find out soon enough that something will happen. Now, unlike the whole deal with Selena back in Chapter 10, we can't really do any funny glitches or any hilarious exploits that makes things seem out of line, per se. Although, in theory, even if we did find a way to kill Kalak, the game would probably perform what it did back in Chapter 10, where it would act like as if that didn't happen at all. Now, we had Tana get hit by that archer there, so that Natasha has an excuse to use Physic. Because we do need Natasha to gain magic level ups. And she has to hit a fairly high magic threshold for Chapter 16. Which almost changes, it's almost like nothing changed from my Erica reverse recruitment run. But that's not the point here. Anyways, now with this enemy phase, you know, nothing too crazy is happening yet. This chapter is also an opportunity to get Knoll and Inez some levels, as we do need both of them for Chapter 18 down the line. The enemies here, nothing too threatening. There are some other objectives that we need to do. For example, we need to recruit the Ewan replacement, who brings a stat booster that we will need for later down the line. And we also want to work on Syrene's sword rank when we have the chance. And there's an arena up north, so she'll be headed there too. Now, once this enemy phase plays out, there will be a bunch of enemies that show up at the end of the turn. And there it is, Reeve shows up, tells Kalak to go to Johanna to cuck Carlisle, and we get a bunch of monsters that Reeve summoned from the looks of it as new enemies. Now, we have Tana just use up her one-use javelin because I didn't really find any use for it for future chapters. Because the type of javelins we do want to conserve are like free-use javelins for Chapter 18, so that'll be something that I'll need to do throughout this run. And No gets a kill here on the pirate and he hits level 5. Now No's going to have to be exposed to a decent amount of enemies for this upcoming enemy phase. But this is all just to like get him more experience so that he hits level 10. And Inez one-rounds that gargoyle and hits level 6. And despite that, his window for promoting is still somewhat tight. And him leveling up also allows Sally to heal him, as Sally also needs to work on his staff rank. Now, the Cyclops boss uses axes, and we gave Axereaver to Cormag, for a good reason. Now, using that 5-use javelin at that time was rather inopportune for me, and I wish I hadn't done that, but we'll be fine nonetheless. And then Kyle gets hit here. I had to make sure Kyle got hit there on purpose so that we can give Larasho a reason to heal him. And Larasho hits level 3, which is really slow. As ideally, if we were to train Larasho as our secondary warper, getting her to level 10 would be a bit of an issue, potentially. And then we just have Natasha use Physic here just so that she gets more experience. Now bishops do have a small increase, I think, to their experience gain, which is why Natasha is still gaining a good amount of XP despite being a high level pre-promote. And this upcoming enemy phase, you know, nothing too precarious for the most part, but we do want to keep an eye on Knoll. And then the reason we have Amelia use up her javelin actually was so that we didn't need the spiders blocking, say, the way to the boss by attacking Cormag or whatnot, because, you know, I don't want to rely on Cormag using Pierce Rakes, as they do have a lot of HP. Now, Knoll needed to dodge at least twice. This is because, like, the free enemies that Knoll faces have decent hit, except for the hand axe fighter, which somehow hit Knoll out of all of them, and he had like 50 hit compared to like the 70 that the fighter attacking at one range had. And we get a guiding ring here, which will be pretty handy for Knoll. And Cormag just taking care of business. Yeah, like Cormag's just so strong at this point that he can just one-shot mages. We had to position Cormag the way we did, so that Cormag could avoid Nami, who is recruitable. And mostly because we didn't want to have our path to the Cyclops boss blocked. Now that we're on turn 3, this is just mostly our units like doing some extra weapon rank grinding or experience grinding to like self-improve, such as in Knoll's case. Knoll hits level 6 now. His stats look okay, nothing spectacular. Not that we need it to be. And then Kyle just gets the short bow so that we can sell it for some nice money. Meanwhile, we have Sally heal Inez. And then Inez has another gargoyle he can come after and finish off. And then Dazla just weakens this gargoyle so that Inez doesn't need to rig a low percent critical to kill, and so that he can get more experience, which is always nice. And then we have Amelia grab a sword from her inventory. We have her cripple this Cyclops a lot. And then we have Tana visit the house to get our recruitable, who is Colm in this case. And then we have Syrene visit the arena, as we want her to improve our funds and for her to get more sword rank. And the GBA enemy arena AI, normally they try to make the opponents at least somewhat beatable. So for example, your unit could have totally garbage stats, but they have to make it somewhat winnable to like compensate, so enemies might go below their class bases in some instances. And then to seal the deal, we got Cormag attacking with an Axereaver. There's a decent chance to pierce or crit, but we don't need that to happen. This is mainly because the GBA boss AI, if they've been attacked already, they normally will attack first anyways, although there are times where it might not fully be the case. As I just showed right there, the Cyclops boss didn't quite attack right away. I don't know what normally determines what causes the bosses to go first or not when attacking, because there are chapters like chapter 13 Erica where that's not the case, where if you attack Ias, then Ias will like attack anyways. Although I believe it may have to do with the fact that the boss is technically a reinforcement, which could play a part into it. And then we had to position our units the way they did to minimize the amount of danger that Comb got exposed to, because Comb is frankly god-awful. Comb luckily can take a hit, so we don't have to do any complicated rigging at all. But positioning Comb's survival was a little bit annoying at first, but we were able to get it down. And then the boss attacks Cormag, and Cormag gets another level up. And that is chapter 12 cleared in 3 turns, as we get a hand axe. I will see you guys next time for chapter 13.